Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and I am from Lahore, Pakistan. And once again, I welcome you to my academic IELTS reading video. And we are doing section 3, questions 32 to 36. And the type of questions we have is table completion or complete the table below. Now we have a table and I'm going to tell you how to read the table, how to find the clue words from the table or how to extract the clue words from the table, then how to scan for those words in the passage, how to locate the answer, find the answer, write the answer and do it all. That's what we are going to do while I'll solve this test for you. So let's go to the handouts and we solve the test there and I'll give you my tips as well. Let's take a start. Okay, now let's take a start. Complete the table below. It's a table completion question. Choose no more than 2 words, right, from the text for each answer. Write your answers in boxes 32 to 36. Okay, no more than 2 words. Experiments in change blindness. Now the whole passage is about change blindness. Researchers, purpose of experiment, then we've got situation for participants, focus of participants, and then the percentage. By the way, this is a very good clue and this is a very good clue. So you need to scan for 46.6 or you need to scan for Simon and Levi, like we say Levi's, so Levi, 1998. Where you find this and then where you find this and this, you will find the answer. So this is how you got to scan it. That is the first thing, right? Now let's see, purpose of experiment. What was the purpose? The purpose was to illustrate change blindness. Illustrate means example and all that. To illustrate change blindness caused by a means singular noun. There is something about that. Okay, so caused by a dash such as an object. So you need to find object, illustration, change blindness. The whole passage is about that, caused by a dash. Now let's go back. This is the passage. So we need to see if the answers are here. Okay, this part is untouched. So I try from here. Imagine that you are taking a walk in the local, okay, during the conversation, 2 men between and the person asking for directions that change places with one of the people carrying the door would notice and all that. Psychologist says set up and found the change in identity went unnoticed. Okay, yeah, percentage, yeah, this one. Now you can see it here, 46.6. Now I have to be alert. My answers are going to be somewhere around and I need to see this Simon and Levi. Okay, Simon and Levi is here. I ignored that, huh? So when you are not mentally present, then this will happen. You will miss it. Okay, Simon and Levi conducted a field study, exact setup, found that the change in identity went up unnoticed by 46.6%. Now what do we need to find out? We need to find out and to illustrate change blindness caused by a dash such as an object. Let's see. Okay, this phenomena has been termed change blindness and refers to the difficulty that observers have in noticing changes to visual scenes. For example, the person swept when the changes are accompanied by some other visual disturbance. For example, the passing of the door and all that. Now the answer is here somewhere. What's the question? To illustrate change blindness caused by, yeah, caused by a dash such as an object. Example is an object. Let's see. So here they say, yeah, here they say 15%. This phenomena has been termed change blindness and refers to the difficulty that observers have in noticing changes to visual scenes. For example, the person swept when the changes are accompanied by some other visual disturbance. When the changes are accompanied by some other visual disturbance, for example, the passing of the door. Now, passing of the door is object. This is the object, right? So, to illustrate change blindness caused by a visual disturbance, some other visual disturbance accompanied by, right? when the changes are accompanied by some other visual disturbance. For example, this is the object, so visual disturbance is going to be the answer. Where should we write? Okay, let's write it here. Visual disturbance. Now let me tell you, I'm solving section 3, which is the difficult one, right? Usually people think it's the difficult one. Okay, now let's go ahead. Next is situation for participants giving dash to a stranger. Giving something to a stranger. Now I need to look for the word like stranger. Giving something to a stranger. That's what we need to find out. Okay. Now we can go anywhere in any direction. Imagine that you are, no, not here. Imagine that you are taking a walk in a local city park and tourist approaches you asking for directions. Now tourist is asking for direction. During the conversation, two men carrying a door pass between the two of you, and if the person asking for directions had changed places with one of the people carrying the door, would you notice? Now that's what the question they are asking. Situation for participants. Yeah. Now they gave a situation. Giving directions to a stranger. Exactly. Now that's the situation. Imagine that you are taking a walk in your local city park. Now this is a situation when a tourist approaches you asking for direction. Asking for directions or giving directions. Exactly. So the answer is going to be giving directions to a stranger. This was actually the situation for participants. If you are not clear, again I tell you, imagine that you are taking a walk in your local city park when a tourist approaches you asking for directions. During the conversation, two men carrying a door. Now this is all the situation between the two of you. If the person asking for directions, had changed places with one of the people carrying the door, would you notice that? That was the situation. So giving directions to a stranger. The person, they use the word stranger for that. Okay, now let's go on. Focus of participants' attention. The movement of something. They were moving something. So focus of participants' attention was actually the movement of something. And remember, no more than 2 words. So movement of what? Now the answer is going to be there. I mean, all these answers are going to be here. We got to see movement of what? Okay, approaches you asking what. During the conversation, two men carrying a door pass between. Now pass between. Okay, let's go on. Two of you. If the person asking direction, places on the people carrying the door. Okay, would notice and all that. Harvard psychologists say conducted field survey 50%. This phenomena has been termed change blindness and refers to the difficulty that observers have in noticing changes to visual scenes. For example, the person swaps when the changes are accompanied by some other visual disturbance. Passing of the door. Passing refers to movement. Yeah, they use this thing here as well. Pass, a door pass. So passing the door means the movement. Now what is that? Focus of participants' attention. What was that? The movement of a door. So the answer is going to be a door because you are allowed to write 2 words. That's why you can write a door or the door or only door is also right. Is this clear? Okay. Let's go on. Now we got Davis and this and 61%. So where we are going to find it? We can find these answers. Let's find this and this. This is easy to scan, by the way. Okay, 61% and all that. I've got to scan. Yeah, here. I found it here. Now I need to find Davis. Oh yeah, Davis and Hine. So it means I should focus this part. Right? Now let me read the question. First I just found the place, the location. Now I need to read the question. To assess the impact of change blindness on dash by eyewitnesses. So to assess, what was the purpose of experiment? The purpose was to assess the impact of change blindness on dash. Now we need to find out on what. Okay, the impact. Over the past decade, the change blindness phenomenon has been replicated many times, especially noteworthy and recommended by Davis and Anna, who studied whether change blindness affects. Now see that affects, and what is the word here? To assess the impact. Yay! Impact of change blindness on dash. On what? Let's see. Change blindness affect eyewitness identification. Eyewitness identification. Let's read again. Who studied whether change blindness affects eyewitness identification. And here, what do they say? To assess the impact of change blindness on eyewitness by eyewitnesses. Okay, so you need to just write down, it's basically eyewitness identification. Eyewitness is already given, so you will just write identification. Identification. So identification is actually the answer to question number 35. Clear? We will not write eyewitnesses because it's already written. If you write that, your right answer is going to be wrong. Next situation for participants, watching a burglary. Okay, now we are going to read about burglary, and then focus of participants' attention. The collection of, this is so simple, the collection of something, some objects. Now they are talking about burglary. I mean, this really helps, and this is linked, and 61%. The collection of dash, watching a burglary, and the collection of dash. Now let's see. Okay, now we need to look for burglary, burglar. All right, paying attention. However, to catch those changes, attention must be targeted. Changing feature, participants were likely not to have been expecting to change to happen, and so their attention may have been focused on the valuables. The burglar was stealing, and that's it. Now this one. So we've got burglar over here, right? I mean, now you need to read ahead because you know it's just related to that. Okay, so I mean, we read burglary somewhere else as well. Yeah, it could be here when they were talking about a burglary and this knapsack and all that stuff. So we had this thing, but you need to read ahead. Okay, and now what does the question say? The question says, watching a burglary, the collection of dash, 61% collection of dash. Now what is it? That collection of what? Okay, let's see. Participants were likely not to have been expecting to change to happen, and so their attention may have been focused on the valuables the burglar was stealing rather than the burglar. Valuables the burglar, not burger. Valuables the burglar was stealing rather than the burglar. So the collection of, for collection of, they are using the word here. The collection of, they are using the word focused on the valuables. Yeah, collection of and focused on the, actually they didn't say anything. Valuables the burglar was stealing rather than the burglar. So it's going to be the collection of, and for that they use the word the valuable the burglar was stealing, the collection of stealing valuables. So the answer is going to be, it's plural, yeah, the collection of valuables, right? So you can just see the answer is given here, the collection of valuables. All right, this is how you got to do it. So you got to be very, very careful because this is section 3. Section 3 is very tricky, but over here, this and this, they were the very fine clues, and because of that we reached the exact location, and between this we found our answers. Okay, now you must be clear about table completion, and you know how to complete a table. If it comes in section 1 or 2 or 3, table completion should not be a problem for you. If you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. I run another channel, Asad Yaqub Vlogs. You should subscribe to that channel as well. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, you can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best. Take care. Allah Hafiz.